When people hear the name Iran, they often think of politics, sanctions, and conflict. These images dominate headlines and shape global perception. But they tell only a fraction of the story. Beneath the surface narratives lies a civilization older than most nations on Earth. A land where history is not confined to museums or textbooks, but carved into mountains, whispered through deserts, and reflected in stone, art, and flowing water. Iran is not simply a country on a map. It is a living archive of human civilization. Today, we move beyond the familiar images, beyond the famous monuments and well-known stories. We journey into forgotten valleys, silent villages, abandoned fortresses, and masterpieces hidden from the modern world. This is Iran, Asia's hidden masterpiece. Thousands of years ago, while much of the world was still divided into scattered tribes, the Iranian plateau emerged as one of the earliest centers of organized civilization. This land gave rise to the Persian empires, among the most powerful and influential forces of the ancient world. Yet their strength was not built on conquest alone. Persia ruled through administration, structure, and law. It introduced systems of governance that respected local traditions. Different religions were allowed to coexist. Cultures were preserved rather than erased. Roads connected continents, enabling trade and communication on an unprecedented scale. Messages traveled faster than ever before, carried by relay networks that crossed vast distances. The idea that an empire could rule through tolerance, efficiency, and order was revolutionary for its time, and it reshaped the ancient world. But while Persia's influence reached far beyond its borders, much of its greatest legacy slowly faded from global memory. High in the rugged mountains of northern Iran, where cliffs plunge into mist-filled valleys, lies a landscape shaped by secrecy and strategy. Here stand the ruins of remote mountain fortresses. These castles were not built for beauty or comfort. Every stone was placed with intention. Every narrow path, every hidden entrance was designed for control and survival. From these heights, small groups once challenged powerful empires, not through numbers, but through intelligence, planning, and patience. Knowledge was their greatest weapon. Geography was their shield. Today, the fortresses are silent. Their walls are broken, yet the atmosphere remains tense, as if the mountains themselves still remember the watchful eyes that once guarded these peaks. Far to the south, deep within Iran's deserts, another forgotten stronghold stands against time. Surrounded by heat, wind, and endless sand, this fortress has endured centuries of abandonment. Its walls are scarred by erosion, yet they remain standing. In a land where survival is never guaranteed, Persian builders mastered construction, techniques that resisted extreme climates long before modern engineering existed. Mud brick walls were designed to breathe. Towers were positioned to control airflow. Shade and insulation were engineered into the structure itself. This fortress is not merely a ruin. It is proof of human adaptation at its finest. In the lush green mountains of northern Iran, hidden beneath clouds and heavy fog, exists a village unlike any other. Here, architecture follows the logic of nature, not design trends. Rooftops serve as streets. One home becomes the pathway to another. There is no clear division between public and private space. The village flows as a single organism, shaped by rain, earthquakes, and steep terrain. Built out of necessity and perfected over generations, this settlement demonstrates a deep understanding of environment and community. People here did not impose themselves on the land. They adapted to it. In this village, architecture is not an art form. It is survival made beautiful. Further south lies another village glowing in shades of red, brown, and earth. Its houses are built from iron-rich clay, giving the entire landscape a warm, almost unreal color. These structures have stood for over 1,000 years. Isolation preserved more than just buildings here. It protected traditions, clothing styles, local language, rituals, and customs survived untouched by modern influence. Time moves differently in this place. This is not a village you simply observe. It is a past you physically step into. More than 17 centuries ago, Persian engineers faced one of humanity's greatest challenges, controlling water in a harsh and unpredictable climate. Their solution became one of the most advanced hydraulic systems of the ancient world. They built canals, dams, bridges, and water mills that powered industries, sustained agriculture, and supported growing cities. Without electricity or modern machinery, water was guided with precision, distributed fairly, and used efficiently. Remarkably, parts of this system still function today. It stands as a reminder that true innovation is not always loud or flashy. Sometimes it works quietly for thousands of years. Beneath Iran's deserts lies another invisible miracle. Underground water tunnels stretch for kilometers beneath the earth, carrying fresh water from distant mountains to dry plains. Protected from evaporation and heat, these tunnels transformed arid land into fertile farmland. Some of these systems are still in use after thousands of years. They make no noise. They demand no attention, yet they continue to serve humanity. Iranian art does not seek to impress at first glance. It seeks meaning. Traditional paintings were never meant to be realistic alone. They reflected philosophy, spirituality, and a society caught between tradition and transformation. Every color, every gesture, every detail carried symbolic weight. In Iran, writing itself became art. Calligraphy transformed language into rhythm. Ink became architecture. Words flowed not just to communicate, but to elevate thought. This was not decoration. It was devotion. Hidden behind layers of security lies one of the world's greatest treasure collections. Crowns embedded with oceans of gemstones. Thrones designed not only to display wealth, but to project authority and legitimacy. These jewels were not ornaments. They were instruments of power. They told stories of conquest, diplomacy, ceremony, and identity. Each gem reflected centuries of ambition and rule. So why do so few people know these places? Politics, isolation, distance, and perhaps because some civilizations were never meant to be consumed quickly. Iran does not reveal itself easily. It does not offer instant answers. It demands patience, curiosity, and respect. It waits for those willing to look deeper, beyond headlines and assumptions. Iran is not frozen in time. It is not a relic. It is a story still unfolding. Beneath every mountain, every village, every forgotten ruin, lies evidence that humanity once built not just to survive, but to endure. This was Iran, and these were its hidden masterpieces,